Welcome back. The non-bank finance space is a buzz with deals. The biggest one is, of course, Bajaj and Allianz parting ways, but there are more. Patanjali Ayurved and DS Group are acquiring 98% stake in Magma General Insurance. Hinduja Group has announced that they're acquiring Reliance Capital, and hence 51% in Nippon Life and 100% in Reliance General Insurance come their way. LIC also said that they will announce acquisition of a stake in a health insurance company. Now, that's about insurance. Separately, the bigger beneficiary of liquidity and rate cuts by the Reserve Bank is not banks as much as NBFCs. And so to get a 360-degree perspective of everything NBFC, I have with me one of the best watchers of the space, Nischint Chawathe of Kotak Instl Equities. Nischint, good morning, and thank you very much indeed for joining me. We'll spend some time discussing Bajaj, but before that, let me just get this entire NBFC space out of the way. There was worries when RBI went in November 2023 with the higher risk weights. Now that has been taken off, rate cuts, liquidity. So are you extremely bullish on all NBFCs?
The NBFC stocks have, NBFC stocks have done well. NBFCs are a direct reflection of what's happening in domestic economy, away from all the noise that's been there globally, right? And that is one of the key reasons why NBFCs have done well. Companies have grown at 20 to 30-35%, and which is where these continue to still remain reasonably high growth stories. Yes, I think we had seen increase in the risk weight, which had affected let's say the cost of funding for some of these guys, which probably should come off over the next couple of quarters as there is overall easing. But I guess what matters more is how is your growth trending, how is your asset quality playing out. Clearly, last year was good. I think the outlook for next year also should be decent. But clearly, on a year-on-year basis, the way the base is playing out, and you're probably seeing slowdown in some pockets, you will see the overall growth rate coming down for the sector. So are we extremely bullish? The way I would put it is that, yes, this is definitely a better sector than many other segments. But from an overall growth point of view, we are seeing some element of slowdown coming, certain segments seeing some kind of a, kind of a slowdown. Asset quality broadly holding on well is what I would say.
Okay. No, I thought the asset quality problem was only MFI and to a limited extent unsecured loans. Is that likely to mar the numbers in FY26? And why are you so skeptical about the pace of growth?
Yeah, so as far as asset quality is concerned, I think, microfinance is, still some piece, which is evolving. We'll have to watch the space. Personal loans, the sense that we get from market participants is that somewhere the stress is kind of peaked. So, again, watching the space because many of the large listed companies don't have, direct exposure to personal loans other than one or two. But there you seem to be getting some grip or some comfort on what's happening. The rest of the segments have seen some element of slowdown. There were pockets, in other companies, in commercial vehicles or in vehicles, where we had seen some element of delinquencies rising, maybe from a low base. And I think incrementally, as we see, you will see some volatility over there. Not that, things are falling apart or anything of that sort. Okay. We have seen slowdown in outlook for segments like vehicles, which is clearly going to affect these players. And there is a base effect also which plays out.
Okay. Can you name names? Are you allowed to? And have you converted anything from a buy, lowered it to an add simply because markets have already run up or for whatever reason?
Yeah, so I think obviously, stocks have rallied. As I said, the sector has done well. We do still find pockets of opportunities. We do find, fair amount of upside in names like Shriram, to some extent Mahindra. We do find opportunities in the smaller housing finance names, Aadhar, abuzz, Home First, Aptas. These are names where we still do, find, fair amount of upside at this stage.
Okay, yeah, I did go through your table. Some of their margins, like 5-star and all, are absolutely eye-popping. So I can imagine you're very bullish on them. Now let me come to the big deal which is happening as we speak, the parting of ways between Allianz and Bajaj Finance. You're saying that they undersold it. They sold it cheap. The Bajaj holding companies could have got more, but that wouldn't impact the stock.
That's right. See, what has happened from a finserv shareholders' point of view is that we have seen Allianz exiting and other set of investors coming in. Obviously, these are promoter companies, but from a pure SOTP or a valuation point of view, it doesn't really affect finserv shareholders as such, right? That's the way it is. Can Bajaj run these businesses without Allianz? Yes, of course they can run it without Allianz. So from a business point of view, probably nothing changes. From a shareholder point of view, one shareholder has changed hands with the other one. And I think that's the difference. From a valuation point of view, I think they have done the transactions at around 8 to 28%, lower than what our fair value estimate for these names are.
Okay. Yeah, I saw your comparison with the multiples at which HDFC Life and others are trading, as I say, Pru are trading. But Nischint, more about the insurance space itself. There seem to be quite a few regulations grumbling about banks selling their own insurance companies and so their own insurance products, group insurance products, and therefore some rules could be written. There is also a lot of competition. I mean, LIC is buying general insurance. Everyone's buying, branching into what they are not. Life getting into general. What I mean is a surfeit of competition, surfeit of regulation. So what is your ranking in terms of buys in this sector?
The way one looks at it is that, insurance, like rest of financial services, remains a long-term compounder. As against 10-11%, GDP growth, you can expect the sector to deliver like a mid-teens kind of a growth. And I think companies are sort of, simply tapping on that. Typically, you will always have this toggle that happens between, there are three stakeholders over here: the shareholder or management, the distributor and the customer. And you keep on having this toggle where, sometimes the distributor is getting a lot of money is what the regulator feels. So the commissions go down. Sometimes, the shareholders say that, hey, look, your margins are lower, so stocks come off, and then there is a focus on profitability. So this toggle keeps on going round and round. At this point of time, we have seen that, with the regulations coming up, somewhere insurance and companies getting listed as well. Companies are sort of focusing on profitability, trying to manage the ends. At the same time, you'll probably have a nudge to kind of to be more fair and give better deals to the customer. So that toggle kind of continues. We do like the life space a lot. So we do have buy ratings on, HDFC, ICICI, Max. These are the names that we do like in the life space.
Okay. Nischint, what are your views on PB FinTech? People have strong views on their healthcare detour. What are your thoughts?
PB is, and in fact, over a period of time has emerged as an extremely strong franchise in the life insurance, for that matter, in the insurance space. Any of us who really think about buying an insurance, we just go online, search products, and PB comes right there on the top. And which is their biggest strength. They sell all kinds of products, life, non-life, et cetera, right? I mean, across the chain, and they have specializations in many of these segments. So that's where I think it remains an extremely strong franchise. Obviously, with so much of cash lying on the balance sheet, there will be some ways obviously there will be some ways in which it will be deployed. Healthcare is, I would say, as more of an experiment or a new venture, where what I think they're trying to do is, have a more sort of a subscription-based model. And, that's something that they are experimenting right now. It's not a large quantum. Early days, let's see how it goes. But I mean, if it does well, it does, it can really do well. It can take off. We have seen companies like Narayana, etc., who do have, products which offer insurance in their ecosystem. So I think that's something which can definitely be explored. Okay,
well, the management was with us and they said there's a 50% chance of the healthcare unit succeeding or not. It doesn't bother you. You still a strong buy on that space?
Yeah, so yes, we kind of, in fact, yesterday upgraded the rating from a reduced to add, after which, after the sharp correction in the stock. See, what we have done is, it's an $80 billion investment. So we have just taken it off from our calculation, saying that probably it makes money sometime down the line, but we are not factoring it in our valuation framework.
Okay.
And that's the way we have dealt with it right now. We understand it's early days. They have to identify land, they have to build these hospitals, and then it will play out. So it's a couple of years down the line. So, and simplistically, just take that money out and move on, and look at rest of the business.
Yeah, it's a venture capital project almost, from the way Yashish Dahiya was speaking about it.
You can say that, yes.
So if it comes, there is an inflection point, but you're comfortable with the valuations, in fact, happy with the valuations as they stand. Okay, a final question, yes. Nischint, for want of time. Where would NBFCs, I know it's a little unfair, but in the Kotak scheme of things, how high do NBFCs rank in terms of buys? What is your company's best buys? And do even banks rank higher or lower than NBFCs in your hierarchy?
Yes, of course. So I think if you talk to if you talk to our strategist, clearly financial services buys banks and NBFCs. We do find as a house we do find still value over there, and many of these names are in our model portfolio. And
your top NBFCs would be?
So we do still find value in Shriram. We do find value in Mahindra. And as I said, all the affordable housing names.
Oh, yes, the affordable housing names are showing for you, and your target price as well. So clearly, there is a distance from where they are now to where you think they should be. Nischint Chawathe, always a pleasure speaking, and you managed to get maximum in the 10-12 minutes allotted to us. Thank you so much for joining us. So that's the word coming in from Kotak Instl Equities, very bullish on NBFCs and, as you heard, affordable housing and insurance as well. We wrap up on Bazaar on that note. Chartbusters coming up.